The amount of repos that are coming through the system right now are absolutely insane. So what we're seeing here at used car dealer auctions is more and more repos actually show up here. Today I'm gonna show you what a dealer pays for this repo Lexus GS 350. And it's showing me that consumers are not paying their car bills. Let's talk about it. This is what a repo looks like. This is what repos do. They overheat. They get hauled in and then they overheat. And the weakness coming from the consumer and the record high auto loan delinquencies that we're seeing right now is even affecting my small used car dealership. And today I'll show you what dealer pays for this Camaro and this Charger.
Here we go, boys. It's sale time. Sale time. Let's go.
So I want you to check out this whole row behind me right here. These are all repos, and we've seen more and more of these repos show up at auction. I mean, check that out right there. Repos typically, I mean, that's a duct taped bumper. That's what we see with repos, but these represent consumers that would not pay their bills. So what happens? Well, the dealer that actually loaned the money to them to be able to buy these cars, well, they didn't pay them, and the dealer picked them up and brought them here to dump them here at auction. And this is what we're seeing more and more and more throughout the car market, is that auto loan delinquencies are at the highest level that they've ever been. Think about that. Think about that. Even 2008, auto loan delinquencies are higher right now than when they were back before the 2008 financial crisis. And this is just showing what not only the car market is dealing with right now, but just consumers in our economy. This is what they're having to deal with right now. And we're seeing it show up so much more here at these used car dealer auctions. And it's affecting the whole car market, because as you have these consumers that are unwilling or unable to actually make their car payments, well, it can affect the next layer of buyers, where now they're being pulled out of the market because their credit scores are getting hit, or they're not able to get into new loans. And we're seeing it show up here at auction, where their cars are winding up right here where we can actually buy them. All right, so check it out. This is our repo lane right here. This is a Lexus GS 350. This one's going to be a repo. It's a 2015. And check this out. It's got I'll show you. It's got 197,000 miles on it, but we're going to still find out what a dealer will pay for this repo. Actually, the outside body looks better than I would typically imagine most repos are looking like. You see, it's been dinged because you can see it's not lined up right there. We got some scuffs right here. Let's go around the outside. Tires looking a little low. We got some scratches on the back. But even with all that, this is like one of the best shaped repos that we're going to run into here at this auction.
All right, here's that Lexus. We're gonna bring it up. Try to start $12,000. No bids, no bids. It's a repo, it's a repo, it's a repo. Still no bids, dropping at 11,000, still no bids.
Look inside of it. As you can imagine, repos are gross, nasty. I don't know, I always want to put my hand on the seat to lean across to look, but I don't even want to do that. Maybe the steering wheel is maybe a little bit safer. Let's do that. At least someone's exterior hasn't been on this interior part. The exterior's been on that interior part, but their exterior has not been on. Yes, that's, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it's dirty car, but we're gonna check it on the inside and see what a dealer will pay for this. It should be significantly lower than what just your normal trade-in would bring.
Nobody's even looking at it. Not for that price. Drop down 10,000, still no bids. All the way down 6,000, 6,000. Still, I don't think he's got any bids. All right, we're trying to start at 3,000. Auctioneer won't even take it. All right, rolling out. Still don't think we have any bids. All right, it's rolling out. We're still trying to get bids on it. This is what happens with repos. No sell, no sell. Not even a bid, not even one bid. Somebody tried to start at 3,000. He said no, needed at least to start out 6,000. That doesn't even mean the seller would take 6,000. Just means he want to start at 6,000.
Let's talk about it. This is what a repo looks like. I mean, that's a lot of tape. That's a significant amount of tape on this bumper. You got cracked. I mean, you got cars that are wrecked that don't get fixed. Why would we fix it? Nobody's paying for it. Why would it fix it? We got regulators in the back of these windows. These windows will not roll up. Why fix that? Nobody's making the payments on these cars. When things go bad in these repos, we got stuff falling off of them, hanging out of the front of the car. Why would any of this stuff get fixed when consumers know that they're not going to make payments on the cars? And this is why we go through and we show you what's going on with these consumers, because they know they're not going to. It's not that they just lost their job and they lose their car immediately. No, this is a process that happens for a lot of these consumers where they know that they get in over their head. They know they buy a car that they can't pay for anymore, and then it goes for weeks, sometimes even months, where cars can, lot rot even when they're sitting in someone's driveway. I mean, that's a real thing that dealers have to deal with, but it's even worse when these consumers, I guess it wouldn't be called a lot rot at that point, it'd be driving rot of consumers that aren't going to spend any money on their used vehicle. When they're not making payments, why would they even bother to do this? And this is why most of these repos that we see go through the system, they look like this. They look like baked out in the sun, bad paint. They have headlights falling off. They run into poles, and they're not going to let the lender know that any of this stuff happened. No, we're not doing that, because we're going to drive this car as long as possible while we're not paying for it, so we can get whatever free ride we can. And this is what a lot of these repos at these car dealer auctions look like, and this is what we have to sift through if we want to be someone who wants to buy a repo. And I can tell you for most cases, even for my car dealership, we buy cars that we can sell for $5,000 and under. And even with my dealership, it's very rare that we buy a repo because the quality is even too bad for us at our price point. We sell cars that are $5,000 and under. It's crazy. All right, let's check out this Charger right here. It's a 2014. It's got 138,000 miles. Something that I want to call attention to, though, is I heard somebody pull it out to go test drive it. They do that here at this auction before the sale actually runs. So dealers like us can check it out. I really like that about this auction, but it was ticking pretty good. So just remember that whenever it's going through. We got a bunch of touch-up paint right here on the side. Back looks good. This side actually looks like it's been painted. Not sure, but it looks like a lot of times you can see when like the paint has lost any of its shine, and it looks like there's like a house paint kind of feel to it. It looks like that to me a little bit on this side. Got a big scratch right there. Other than that, outside body, I mean, there's nothing major here. It just does something just doesn't look right.
All right, here's that Charger. Try to start at 2,500. Oh no, drop to 4,000. Oh no, why is it 2,500 bucks? Now it's down 2,000. All right, we got bids: 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Inside, not great. I mean, it's got some stains. Obviously, I'm putting my hand right on the seat while I'm saying that the seats have stains, so I'm going to need to go wash my hands after I check out this car. Back is okay. Actually, typically the back is like nasty stain, and a lot of kids staining these cars is what you typically see. This one, not as bad as usual. Little screen in there. It's not great. I don't know. I don't like these cars. I don't know why. I don't even think they look good. I get it. Some people love them. They're ugly to me. I don't know. But anyway, we'll check it out. 2014, 138,000 miles.
Remember, it was ticking up to 3,000 already. Oh, it smells like antifreeze too. That is a head gasket. We got 31, 32, 33, 34. I can't believe they didn't smell that. Up to 36, 37, 38, up to 4,000, 41, 42. Every time he ups, he got a bid. Still on the Charger. 45, 46. We got 4,600. Sold to 46. So these credit problems that a lot of these consumers are experiencing, this record high delinquency rate that we're seeing in autos, well, it's actually affecting my car a lot too. Now, I don't finance, so I'm not repoing cars. That's not the way it's affecting me. But what happens is when these people, when they're challenged with their credit, they go and try to buy a brand new car. Well, what I'm hearing from a lot of GMs, what I'm hearing from a lot of salespeople is that they have to turn away a lot of these consumers because of the amount of negative equity that they have come in, because of the repos that they have on their credit, because their credit scores are so low, they can't put these consumers into loans. So what does that do? Well, that takes buyers out of the market. And how that affects me is that when you have buyers that come out of the market, well, their trade-ins then don't come to auctions because those consumers can't trade out of their old car that they owe so much more money on to get into
that brand new car. So the amount of used vehicles that are entering the space is getting lower and lower and lower because these dealers can't work with these customers. Now, traditionally throughout the car market, negative equity is not a rare thing, but now the negative equity is so high that these dealers can't lease these consumers out of their cars. They can't roll over this negative equity into the next loan because they have negative equity that's $10, $15, in some cases $20,000. So that takes a large portion of consumers that would buy a car, buy a brand new car, and then trade in 3 years later, and then buy a brand new car, and then trade in 3 years later, and then always continue the cycle, just roll over negative equity after negative equity. But if they bought in the last 2, 3, 4 years, they have so much of this negative equity that there are no strings that these dealerships can actually pull to get them into their next car. So those consumers that typically would keep the car market rolling year in, year out by just rolling over negative equity, well, now they can't do that.
Let's check this Infiniti repo. I feel like I almost never show anything made by Infiniti on this channel. I mean, I don't really like Infinitis. I don't like really Nissans either. There's some Nissans that I like and will buy for our dealership, but I do absolutely stay away from Infinitis for the most part. I know like I can't remember. I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, this is a repossessed car, and we will check it. It's an M35. Outside, it's going to come with cosmetic issues that usually come with a repossessed vehicle.
All right, here's that Infiniti. We're at 1,200 right now. It's rolling out. We're still bidding on it. Up to 1,300, up to 1,400.
Inside looks better than I would imagine this would be. I mean, you got some rough spots here and there. I mean, you got some stuff that's broken, but overall, it's not destroyed. And I oftentimes expect a repossessed car to be destroyed. Anyway, we'll check this out, see what dealer paid for it.
Rolling out. It's a repo. We got 1,400 right now. We got 1,500. Every time he helps, he's got a bid. We got 1,600 now, 1,600. Says we're short, that means he doesn't have as much money as he needs. Got 1,600 bucks. Asking the seller right now. Says he needs $2,000 for that car. $2,000. If he comes up at all, I bet he'll sell it. Came up to 1,800 bucks. Sell it. It says phone call. Put on phone call. If bid, 1,800 bucks.
All right, so an if bid just means that it didn't bring enough money in lane, and they tried to get the sale done after the auction's done. They also call it a phone call because literally the auction will call the seller and say, hey, it didn't bring the money that you wanted it to bring, but it brought this. Can we meet somewhere in the middle? It's just a negotiation after the sale is actually over. And what I'm seeing a lot more of right now, and what you tend to see a lot in downtrending markets, and we see this a lot in the beginning of summer, usually when the prices start to drop off, you get after tax time. We're not in that period, but in downtrending times like that, and then at the end of the year, like December or January, when it's very slow for used car dealers and the appetite's just not there, what we see more of is if sales, if bids, and no sales that actually go through the lane. And what that's telling me as a used car dealer is that, okay, new franchise managers think that prices should be up here, but used car dealers like myself think prices are down here. So what that means is there's a gap in between what we think as buyers and what they think as sellers. And we see that start to materialize when the market's going down a lot because, okay, your buyers are the ones that make the market. It's not the sellers. Seller can hold on to a car up here forever. If they never sell it, then they have no power on the market if they're not going to be able to just keep the price up there and never sell the thing. So what ends up happening is that a lot of these cars get run week after week after week, and then eventually the sellers catch up with the market and they're like, okay, well, we're not going to get $10,000 out of this car. It only brings $8,000 week after week after week. We're just going to have to sell it for $8,000. So then they start cutting loose of things, and that's when you see wholesale data like from Manheim, their charts. You can see big whooshes down because it's like all of a sudden a lot of these sellers realize that, okay, nobody's paying this and we have to lower our prices, and then that's when cars actually get sold. But there's this big time waiting period that happens because the data that's reported is only on cars that are being sold. And that's what I hate about the data in the car market, specifically from a lot of these car auctions, is that it doesn't give a clear distinction of what is actually happening in the market, because it's only showing the cars that are being sold. And I know in the housing market, it's going to be very similar. So you can have, well, I mean, you have comps in like a neighborhood where, okay, you had one house that sold for $750,000, and then 4 more get listed at that $750,000 range, but they can't sell them and they hold them for 6 months. Well, the market and the comps still say that, okay, those houses should be worth $750,000, but we know that not to be the case. It just happened to be you had one seller that asked the moon, and you had one stupid or crazy buyer that paid the moon for it. But that doesn't make the market, and that's something very similar that happens in the car market. And sellers, while we do move a lot faster than the housing market does, sellers have to catch up, and then they figure out, okay, prices should not be up here. They will lower them. That's when you see big whooshes down in the wholesale data. And that's what I can recognize that's happening right now is there's a lot more sellers that are starting to cut loose of stuff, but we still see a lot of these if bids, a lot of these no sales that actually go through the market, and to really get that big whoosh down and get the market that's showing wholesale data that's really, really down more than what it would appear on the outside as far as the pricing goes that these sellers are asking. You got to have these sellers that actually turn over and start to dump a lot of these cars. It's happening. It's going to happen. It just takes some time, and then they got to figure it out. All right, let's check this thing out. It is a Camaro. It's a 2012. It's got 89,000 miles. It's actually really good miles for it being 2012. It's a 13-year-old car. Outside body looks good. This will clean up. This red will actually, it'll pop pretty well. I don't think this is stock. That doesn't feel stock. I think somebody added that. I don't mind it though. I don't mind it. It doesn't look bad. They got this Charger that sounds like poopy right there. But outside body looks fine. The inside I've never liked.
Let's check out this Camaro. Try to start at 8,500 bucks. Drop down to 8,000. Still no bids. Dropped all the way down to 3,500. Here got bids in. 37, 38, 39.
I mean, a lot of these American-made sports cars, your Camaros, your Chargers, your Challengers, your Ford Mustangs, the inside of them always looks so cheap. This looks cheap. It doesn't necessarily feel cheap, but all of this plastic and everything like that looks so cheap. It looks similar to what you would see in like a Kia. I mean, all of this. Actually, I don't know if this was probably added. This actually looks good. I like that. But anyway, we'll check it, and it's a straight drive, manual transmission, whatever you want to call it. And we'll check it on the inside, see what a dealer will actually pay for it. 2012, 89,000 miles.
4,000, 41, 42. Somebody start off too low. 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 6,000, up to 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. Nope, we're at 68, banged it up one. Got 6,800. Sold it, 6,800.
One thing that's interesting to me, I talk to a lot of these buy here, pay here dealers, and they know their customers very well. They know what they'll pay for, what they want, when they stop making their payments, when they will make their payments. They can gauge someone when they come in and fill out the application of if this loan's going to be good or not. But one thing that they tell me often, I've heard it from multiple buy here, pay here dealers, and these are the dealers that are like on the side of the highway. They got $9.95 down, and then you go in there and you make $150 payments every 2 weeks to them. But what they'll say about their consumers is they have different levels, different priorities of things that they'll pay and where their car payment fits in. And the first thing they're going to pay for is their housing. They got to have somewhere to live. They got to have shelter. That's the number one thing. But number two, you would think it'd be their car so they can get to work and then pay for everything else, but that's not number two. Number two is their cell phone. They'll pay for their phone bill, their phone plan second, because they can go without a car, they can go without going to work, but they can't live without that cell phone. So it's very interesting to hear that from a lot of these buy here, pay here dealers. Now, number three is their car payments, and then everything else is going to fall off. So if they start losing their car, well, everything else after that is also not getting paid. So, but it's funny to me. I mean, it's sad too that our culture is that way, where it's your house. I mean, you're going to have somewhere to live, but then it's your cell phone. Before you even try to go to work, you're going to pay your cell phone. And that's the sad reality of where we live, the culture that we're in. That you got to have your cell phone. You can't do any. I mean, who cares about work? We don't need to go to work. Kids don't need to go to the doctor. They don't need to get to school. Nah, we need to worry about that. I'm gonna scroll on TikTok, or I'm gonna watch Brandon's YouTube video. That's what I'm gonna do. That's more important than getting to work. It's watching Brandon on the lookity tube. Well, I guess it wouldn't be on the lookity tube because that's the TV. It's the handity tube. I'm trying here. Give me another second. No, didn't come up with anything on YouTube. That's what I'm talking about. They're watching me. That's what it is. And then they're not paying their payments. One thing. All right. Well, I guess this needs to be a thumbnail for one of these videos, right? So, can we do this? It's got to look so ridiculous for you, me doing this, and you know what? Let's get right there too. Even more ridiculous for people. There's dealers out here. You can see them behind me and walking up and stuff. And they tell me sometimes how ridiculous I look, and I know because I'm posing for a camera. But it's a tiny little box that I'm holding right here, so sometimes these dealers don't even know that I'm actually recording. They just think they say, "What are you doing? Are you talking to yourself?" No, I got a camera. See, check this out right here. So it's often very comical the way that I can look at other people that are looking at me while I'm doing this and get into their perspective, and it's got to be ridiculous. But what I just did right there was sit down and did a silly face, and it's going to end up being one of the thumbnails that we use for one of these videos, and you probably saw it when you clicked on this thing. But that's what we do for the pictures, and that's what I look like to other people when I'm walking around doing this nonsense for you. So you should subscribe.